what you do at a foundational level impacts all the three elements of your health: physical, cognitive, and emotional.
Mhm.
We spoke about one aspect of exercise, which is cardio. Uh, let's look at the second aspect of exercise, which also impacts your cognitive health, which is strength training, right?
And I
Uh,
really want to establish a connection here in terms of the strength training to cognitive ability, productivity in general. So I think a lot of people think that muscle building is for bodybuilders and maybe for crazy people like us, but it actually translates to being more productive at work, because what everybody is saying, I don't have time to do strength training because I have work. And my logic is that if you do this, you'll be able to perform better. So I really
100%.
want that science to come out now. Yeah, go on.
No, no, we will. And before science, let's even give them a code. Everybody knows about the mind body connection. There is also an equally body mind connection. They say as your body moves, your mind grooves. And very simple. Unfortunate, about 3 years back, I had a friend who met with a very bad accident. Uh, it, the accident was so bad the right side of his skull got damaged. Guess where did he got paralytic? On the left side of the body. So there is a very clear connection. Left side of the body is connected with right side of the brain. Right side of the body is left side of the brain. Hence, as your body moves, your brain grooves. There is a direct connection established in the world of science through medicine and surgery. Number one. Second, year, why strength training is important? Because from the day we are born, we start dying. That we all know. But what we don't know is after the age of 35 and 40, our muscles begin to die. In scientific language, we call this a sarcopenia, loss of muscle mass. And not too many people know that the second biggest organ in our body is muscles. Biggest is, of course, skin.
Yeah.
What people look at muscles is very differently than the role that muscle plays. So, muscle is your biggest sink for glucose storage and disposal. People who have diabetic, if they start strength training, they will reverse diabetes. And yet the doctor says go for a walk. Doctor will never say go to the gym and lift weight. Because as you increase muscle mass, you can store more glycogen over here. You can clear your blood vessels more of the excess blood sugar. Every time you muscle, it is also an endocrine organ. It releases hormones. It releases peptides. The moment you do that, it releases a hormone called endorphins, which makes you feel, why after exercising or gymming do you feel better? Because of endorphins. These endorphins will go to your brain. It is telling your brain a message, which is why your cognition becomes a lot more sharper. Now, when you have exercised, when I go for a run, whatever calories I have burnt or whatever calories I will burn, the maximum impact of that is 2 hours. After 2 hours, the glucose loses its ability to absorb more glycogen. When it comes to muscle building, the protein synthesis from that and your ability to burn calorie remains for 48 hours. So principally, why does it impact your cognition? As my body is getting more efficient to remove more glucose from the blood, our brain only operates on one macronutrient, that is glucose. Second, of course, is ketones. We'll come to that later. But largely it is glucose. As I am removing excess blood glucose from my blood vessels, my brain is not getting excess glucose. Why? If excess glucose goes into your brain, it starts developing something called as amyloid plaque. When those plaque develop in your heart, you get heart attack. When it develops in your brain, you get something called as dementia or Alzheimer's. Do you know Alzheimer's is now called as type 3 diabetes? And your first line of defense after medication is build muscles. We lose after the age of 40 1% of muscle mass every year, which is the quantum of muscles. But that's not all. 3 times faster we lose muscle strength after the age of 40. 8 times faster we use muscle power. It's a seriously declining slope. I'll give you another interesting statistic for people to still start thinking why they should go to the gym tomorrow. Stop watching this podcast. go to the gym and build muscle. Building muscle doesn't mean you will bulk up. It takes a lot of time to bulk up. All we are trying to do is prevent the decline. After the age of 65, if you are a woman and if you have a fall and you break your femur or you break your hip bone, you have a 70% chance of dying in the next 12 months. The only way to prevent this is by having strong grip strength. Because when you are falling, you will use your grip. You are walking down the stair. If you are falling, you want something to hold. If your grip strength is not strong, you can't hold. The only way to do that is to build muscle, especially, Priyanka, for women.
Yeah.
Osteoporosis is found disproportionately in women than in men. Women lose a lot more bone mineral density than men. Only way to prevent this is by building muscle. Women get more Alzheimer's than men. And when you double click in each one of this, it has to do with the fact glucose. It has to do with the fact that because you do not have enough storage capacity, because your reservoir is not bigger, excess blood glucose is circulating in the pipes, which is going to the brain. So your building strength is very, and what happens is when you remove this and your brain gets the kind of oxygen and the kind of blood glucose it needs, automatically your prefrontal cortex is getting cleared of everything else. So obviously after your exercise, your focus will be higher, your attention will be higher. You're also feeling great because endorphins are there. You've also experienced a rush of dopamine. Obviously your focus, attention will be there. Compare two individuals, one who exercises, one who doesn't exercise. The guy who doesn't exercise will need support of sugar. He will keep popping a biscuit or something to work. The guy who's exercising doesn't need anything. Give him water, black coffee is good, or black tea.